Hi, everybody. Excuse me. This is Jennifer of Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies, and tonight is Friday, October 24th. And tonight we're having a little bit of a kind of an informal live stream compared to my usual Saturday night 5:30 live streams. So we're going to be doing something a little different, and we'll talk about that in a second. I do want to kick things off by saying thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you for watching on Facebook. Thank you for watching on YouTube. And thank you for watching afterwards if you're watching this afterwards. Sometimes I like to listen to like podcasts or whatever while I'm cleaning the house. Hopefully you can play this stuff back and enjoy listening to it. Let me get over to comments. If there is anybody there, let me know that you can hear me, that you can see me. From my end, everything seems to be working all right. And we do have a special guest coming on tonight, and I'm very excited to tell you about that too. But like I said, let me get to my regular stuff. Thank you again all for being here and watching. Oh, please. Again, I'm new at StreamYard, and I absolutely love it, and I'm still learning it. And let's see, what do I want to do? Is this the one? Timer, nope. All right, I see our guest has entered my studio. She's in the green room right now. Sybil, if you could hold off just a couple of minutes. Let's see. Well, anyways, I'll just say it since I don't say it. I wanted to say, please like and subscribe. I've got that somewhere on here, but I guess I'm just not savvy enough to. There it is. I'm learning. I told you I'm still new at StreamYard. Please feel free to critique, but be kind. Thank you so much. And like, subscribe, share. I'm on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you very much. I'm trying to build a little channel here, and I hope that folks do enjoy it. And I'm hoping to interact with some comments tonight. Michelle, you can hear me. Thank you so much for letting me know. Excellent. All right. So, and please comment on these videos. I'd love to have a conversation. I'd love to hear from you. I do want to remind folks that we are an 18+ conversation. Hi, Lisa, my #1 fan. But this is an 18+ space. We are going to be talking about some disturbing content. And as I like to say, I do find it a little disturbing that we don't find it more disturbing, some of the disturbing content that we discuss. But anyways, reminder that this is an 18 and over conversation. Ashley just joined in. Hi, Ashley. So I also want to tell you to pour yourself a glass of wine, a cup of coffee, open a cold beer. This is a 420 friendly space. Smoke them if you got them. I know I will. I got a new vape pen. So kick back, relax, and enjoy the show tonight. And always, usually comes in last, but certainly never not least. I always have to say thank you to Ladybug Pest Control, my day job, because without the day job, there is no night job. So you know how it is when you have a hobby that you like to do, it does cost money. So I'm very appreciative of my day job. And also the hours at my day job allow me to do this kind of stuff too. So as always, thank you to Ladybug Pest Control. Foggy Woods 4846. Oh, that's Will checking in. Hi, Will. We'll be talking to Will shortly. And again, I can see Sybil in the green room. So I think I did all my kind of housekeeping stuff. I've got my notes. I ask you in advance to forgive me for looking at them frequently. This is a story that I've known about for a long time, but only really just did a little research into today, just a little while ago. So as we talk, if there are any errors in the research, I own them. And I would ask Will to please correct us or pipe in if he's got anything to say. So on that note, I guess I'm going to bring Sybil into the room. Hi, Sandy. We met Sandy last week in Middleborough. But I'm going to bring Sybil into the room and introduce her. And Sybil, when I do bring you in, please tell us a little bit about yourself. And then let's see, as a psychic medium, what you're picking up on. And we'll have a little back and forth. Let's see how that goes. So I'm going to be bringing in Sybil right now. And there she is. Hi, Sybil. How's it going?
Hey everyone, how's it going?
We can hear you just fine.
Good.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Like I said, this is a little bit different, a little more relaxed, a little impromptu compared to what I usually do. And I'm really excited to be doing something different. And let's see how this goes and where it's going to go. Um,
Hmm.
but before we do anything,
Hi, Michelle. Hi,
Sybil, why
Sandy
don't you
and
tell
Will.
us a little bit about yourself and what you do? And then maybe tell us
Okay.
about what we're going to do here tonight.
All right. So I'm Sybil, and I'm a psychic medium. I do really a whole bunch of everything. I connect with spirit. I do a lot of paranormal investigations. I like to kind of tap into people that want to connect with me on that level, but I can also
Mhm.
channel and do those things regardless. So let's see. So tonight we were going to tap into a mystery, right? A family mystery.
Yes, absolutely. A family mystery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to start with how like the conversation got brought up? Hi, Lisa.
Um, yeah. Why don't you? Because I think we have a little mystery at the beginning of this when we
Yeah.
talking about this. Why don't you go ahead and tell that story? What happened there? It's pretty funny. I'm going to give just a little intro. I had just kind of thrown out to Sybil, hey, I got a mystery. Or Will, this friend of ours, this family member of mine, has got a mystery. Um, wonder if you want to look into it. And there, I'll turn the story over to you. Go ahead.
So I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I said, yeah, I do missing cases. And so right away I picked up on it was a missing person. And so I was writing down as we're talking through Messenger. I put like Friday at 7 live stream with Jen. And then I put tap into Mike's mystery. And I was like, wait, I'm like, who's. So I asked Jen and cross. I even have it on the paper again where I
Oh,
wrote
you're
it.
cutting out, Sybil.
Can you hear me a little better now?
No, you're really cutting out.
Of course. How about now? Can you hear me?
Okay, you're back. You're
Okay.
back.
Of course, it's gonna cut out on us.
I know we're telling an interesting story. All right, so
Hmm.
what happened? So Sybil, I had told Sybil we had a family mystery, and Sybil wrote down instead of writing down look into Will's family mystery, she wrote down look into Mike's family mystery. Now, a lot of you out there do know, like my cousin Michelle and like Lisa and so many others know that uh, my husband's name is Mike. Now, Sybil and I have really only just become friends recently, and when we're out, we're usually busy doing something and aren't talking about other things.
Hmm.
And occasionally I mention my husband. It's like Phyllis Diller and Fang, but that's really how I refer to him because when Sybil and
Yeah.
I go out, my husband stays at home. So she never knew my husband's name. So she crossed it out and wrote Will. And then she said, hey, what's this all about? And she sent me a picture of it. And it said, look into Mike's mystery. So I thought that was really cool and a weird kind of synchronicity. And then I found out today that Michael is also Will's middle name. So I think it was kind of cool that just throwing it out there that Sybil instantly picked up on a name that kind of probably came through strong because it had two different connections to Will,
Yeah.
who this story is about. So I think to tell that story, just to say that right off the bat, this really kind of had an interesting twist to it. So,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
so
Without
yeah,
even thinking about it, I wrote it, and I was like, wait. And I looked down at the paper. I'm like, wait a minute, who's Mike? So I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, I have to ask, who's Mike?
yeah. So that's a very strange way to start this. Like I said, synchronicities. Um,
Hmm.
so now we didn't really talk much during the week after that. Um, so Sybil really doesn't have any details at
Yeah.
All I had said to her was there's a mystery. So now today, shortly before we logged on, we just kind of chatted like, hey, she's like, I'm doing my thing over here. And I'm like, I'm doing my thing. Her thing is the spiritual thing, and my thing is the research thing. I think that makes a
Mm-hmm.
good team, you know. Um, but so within just like a few minutes, Sybil was already picking up on things. So again, the only thing I told her was Will had a mystery in his family. That's all I told her. So
Yep.
today, when Sybil got back to me, you can go ahead and say what was it you said to me. And this was probably like 6 o'clock, about an hour, maybe an hour and a half ago, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I picked up that the child was a boy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
yeah. So I already knew in the past like few days information's been coming through, but I like to either be with the person and channel right when I get information,
Mm-hmm.
or I like to jot it down so I don't forget it after. So I kind of was like, okay, I had a little bit of things coming in. I was like, no, wait till I'm ready to like write things down and stuff. So I have a whole bunch of things that came through.
Oh, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll let you go ahead and talk about that. And I've got things that hopefully I can verify or
Okay.
help validate, and we'll count on Will to pipe in as well. Will, what can you validate on this?
Perfect.
So I think that the other thing I want to say that Sybil that you hadn't mentioned was that you had also asked if it was a missing person
Yeah.
case. Um, are you there?
Yes. Can you?
There. You're cutting out. So, but I'm going to go. I'm going to go ahead and say that Sybil had asked me if this was a missing person case, and again, I hadn't told her anything about it, just that it was a mystery.
Can you still see me on the screen?
I can see you now.
Okay. I
I
don't know
can
what's
see you
going on
now.
with the internet.
Okay, I know, bummer, because I think we are ready to go with this.
Mhm.
So again, to all our folks that are watching, thank you for watching. This is the first time we're doing this, so please bear with us, and feel free to comment. But we thank you for your patience. This is the first time we're trying something like this.
Yeah.
So, all right, go ahead, Sybil. I got my
All right.
notes. We're
Okay. So
ready.
just let me know if I cut out and I have to repeat something.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing that I picked up on was there was a connection with water. So, and then I got the name Tim. So, let me.
Oh, it looks like we just lost Sybil completely. We're going to give her a couple minutes and see if she is able to log back in. If she's not able to log back in, I'll go ahead and present this story like I do with my other stories and kind of tell you what happened, what this mystery is. And I'm looking for a pen. Let's see. Is Sybil back? There you are.
Now
Nope,
I'm back.
you're back. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's give this a try again.
I'm wondering
So
if
we're
it's my computer or something.
okay. Sandy says she sees you good. All right, let's do this. So I
Okay.
do want to validate, yes, that this does have something to do with water. So a child, a missing person, something to do with water. And you said the name Tim. I cannot validate.
Okay. So I
Uh,
wanted to just let me know if you can hear me good. I wanted to let you know.
I can hear you.
Okay, Spirit sends me almost like a movie screen, impressions, information kind of drops into my crown chakra. So I have a knowing. I feel like things in my body, if it's like,
Mhm.
achy, can't breathe, things like that. So I basically use all my clairs. So information comes in all different ways. So I was seeing a little pair of shoes, so I don't know if that was found. And then I got which was road. Got days. So
No, I didn't catch what you said there. So hang on a second. Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. And technology is a wonderful thing when it works, and when it doesn't, it sucks.
mhm,
It just reminds us how much we depend on it for everything,
I
you
know, of
know?
course.
So, okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, did you get the dirt road in 7 days?
No, dirt road and 7 days. Okay.
Okay, and a little pair of shoes.
I did catch the shoes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And okay, so the 7 days could have been you guys were looking for this missing child for about 7 days and then they kind of just gave up. That's what I was getting the impression on. Um, the little boy was saying that he's happy and healthy now, but my heart was beating fast, like very fast. Couldn't breathe and anxiety. So I don't know if that's just something to do with the water type of situation.
Hmm.
And I'm wondering if was there like a search party? Was there dogs involved?
I don't know if there were dogs
Okay.
involved, um, but there absolutely would have been a search for a missing child near the water, right?
I
So,
was thinking like,
yeah, you're cutting out again,
uh,
Sybil. I wonder if you're picking up on any year or time period.
this was a while back for sure. I was just getting about 40 years. 40 years
And,
ago.
and actually, I will say this, and this might be a bit of a stretch. No, it was more than 40 years ago, but
Mhm.
so was he born in the 1940? I think he might have been born in the 1940. No, he was born in 1950, I think. So,
Okay.
all right. So yeah, no, this was definitely more than 40 years ago. I did give a lot away there about his age. Um,
Okay. Let's see.
well, about the year he was born, not actually about his age of what
Yeah,
happened,
right.
but about, right. I'm trying to be careful
Um,
with that.
yeah, sometimes it just this there could be something about 40 years.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
he is that how old he would be now? He wouldn't be 40. No, he'd be like
No.
60 something.
Oh
Um,
no, he'd be 80 something if he do you want to know what year he was born?
sure.
Either 49 or 50. 1949 or 1950. The mid last century. But yeah, 1949 or 1950 was when he was born.
Hi, Kelly. Matthew.
Hi, Kelly.
Um, so I was also being shown seeing like dead leaves. So this tells me it was he could have been went missing like late fall, early winter. And I was getting like just really, really cold. So I don't know if it was just cold that like outside. Um,
Well, I'd like to validate something without giving too much away. What I
okay.
did find is on the date of his disappearance,
Hmm.
it was one of the coldest days on record in the city of Boston. This day had a high of 3 degrees Fahrenheit. Just
Wow.
even saying that out loud just gives me goosebumps to imagine how cold that is because winter sucks. We all know it. We
Hmm.
all know it. Um, but imagine 3 degrees.
Yeah.
Us New Englanders know that's really cold. So yeah, there's definitely some cold
I
there.
I
But
knew it. I was saying I was
mm,
freezing, and when I went
mhm.
in the other room, um, I was like saying it's freezing here. I was just picking on Miss Child, and I'm freezing. So
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that I feel like we can definitely validate. Some things
mhm,
I don't want to say can't validate, but that I don't know about.
right.
And like I'm looking at I've got his death certificate here and I don't see a middle name. Tim is not his name, but that doesn't mean
Okay.
that's not. connected in some way.
Yeah.
And I don't know about shoes, but I know that something of his was found. It wasn't
Hmm.
shoes. And dirt road, that I don't know about either. So, but there are
Okay.
quite a few things I'd say that you're, again, without having any information other than, gee, Sybil, we have a mystery on our hands. I
Yeah, right.
think you're really hitting a lot of things on the nails on the head here. So,
Yeah.
so go ahead. Look, go
Okay,
ahead.
so he also showed me a blue balloon, which usually when I see balloons, this tells me it's somebody's birthday. I don't know if it's around his birthday specifically, but this indicates that it's somebody's birthday coming up.
Let me see. Will, do you know the date of birth? I'm looking again. I have his death certificate here, but April 23rd, it looks like. Oh, I apologize. That is not his date of birth. I apologize. No, I don't have his exact date of birth. So yeah, maybe Will could give us that.
So
Anyways, go ahead.
okay, so again, like I said, I kind of just get random information sometimes. It's not
Uh-huh.
like a full story, right? So then I saw,
Hi,
go ahead.
Matthew. I got to say hi, Matthew. Thanks for joining. Thank you very much for joining. Sorry, go ahead,
That's
Sybil.
okay. Okay, so I was shown the little boy was showing me muddy hands, and then my hands like cramped up. So I don't know if he had broken or fractured bones.
Oh, interesting.
And then I saw like a plaid blanket, and that's when I was like really cold, shivering all over. And then he says I am 5. Did he go missing when he was around 5?
He was 6.
He was 6. Okay.
He was 6. Yeah. Yeah. So really another really good point, because again, I told you what year he was born, and you knew he was a boy and he went missing, but I didn't say anything about
Yeah, nothing
how
else.
old he was. So yeah. Yeah, he was 6 years
Yeah,
old.
you just told me his he was right just a few minutes ago. Uh, and then
Oh, you're out again, Sybil.
now I'm back.
There you go. Okay.
Back now? Okay.
Yes. Again, sorry folks for the technical difficulties. Hi, Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
Oh, thank you for the compliment. Thank you. All right,
Okay.
go ahead, Sybil.
So then,
Oh, I beg your pardon. So I'm
oh,
going to
okay.
jump over. I'm saying hello to everybody, which means I do have comments up. And I just want to
Mhm.
say that Will commented, and this is a family member of Will's. They found a found shoe and sock are
So are
related
related to the
to the
case.
case.
Okay.
So I think that that's really important, and that's an interesting
Yeah.
kind of matchup or synchronicity. So, um, all right, Sybil, go ahead. Thank you. And by the way, I just want to say the things that I can't validate or that Will can't validate, I'm jotting down for future research, so that we can
Perfect.
validate this. We do have some information, but like we don't have the police report, but
Right.
all in good time. Like I said, I think I first started researching this an hour and a half ago, so I think I did all right.
Yeah.
And yeah, so anyways, so on
Okay.
that note, thank you. Why don't you go ahead?
After I'm like shivering all over, I was shown a fire with shed in the woods. And he was there for 3 days, and so
I
and
think
then
the first thing we heard was there for 3 days. So where was he?
okay.
I'm sorry.
Before that was I was seeing a fire with a rundown shed in the woods. Did you hear that part?
No, I didn't. A fire in a rundown shed. I don't know why was what had to do with the shed today? Something had to do with the shed today.
Hmm.
I don't know, but anyways, fire in a rundown shed. Okay, go ahead.
Then
Thank
I
you.
also got that the place was searched, but he was already gone by then. He wasn't there in that area. and then I was being shown like an ice fishing hole. So I don't know if this was a hut in the woods and people went and they did ice fishing, right?
Mm.
Um, I was I was found, but too late. This is what the little boy said. Um,
Oh,
and then I saw two men. One smoked a cigar, and the other was thinner and was told more of like the other person.
hang on. So the last thing we heard was one smoked a cigar and the other one was thinner? Oh,
I wonder if I should connect with my phone.
let's take a quick break and we'll let Sybil connect with your phone.
Okay.
Yes, please do, because we definitely want to hear this. I think this is really, really interesting. And I do look forward to doing more research and getting into maybe seeing a police report. So far, really, with the only thing that I had said to Sybil earlier this week was that Will had a mystery. Sybil was able to pick up on quite a few things. That it was a little boy that went missing, that there was water involved, that he was 5 years old, well, but he was actually 6 years old when he went missing. So, let's see. I think I'm going to have to re-invite Sybil and get her back on. Bear with me. I cannot. I can't open Facebook with StreamYard open, Sybil. So I cannot invite Sybil back to the studio. Let's see. Bear with me. I'm so sorry, guys. How to lose viewers. I am. There we go. Got it. Thank you. So sorry. Okay. How you doing? Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, folks. All right. Let's get right back into it because I think folks are definitely anxious to hear
Okay.
more. Sandy said it's interesting. Will is giving us information, and I think that you're really touching on some really valid points again without having any information prior knowledge at all.
Okay. Sorry
So
about that, guys.
that's all right.
Usually, I think we're in Mercury retrograde, so we're bound to get some things messed up with the computer.
Shit happens, man. So it's here we are. So, all right. So let's pick up right where we left off, Sybil. And that was two men, one that you said smoked a cigar and one that was thinner.
Yes. So, and for some reason, he wanted me to see that he was wearing some like duck hunting hat. And then I saw a rifle. So it made me think that these people were either like hunters or did that kind of stuff.
I think that's interesting because the area, I mean, yes, there is water involved, but I think that the area has some larger, maybe marshy areas, freshwater, saltwater, brackish water. And I would venture to say, at least then, oh, you're cutting out again. At least then, during that time period, there very well may have been duck hunting going on in that area.
Okay.
Mm.
How about now?
Good.
Can you hear me okay? Okay.
Mhm.
So this the little boy was he taken from his room?
That is one
Hi,
theory.
Sue. Okay.
Oh,
Because
hi, Sue.
I was seeing the window open and the shades were moving back and forth, but I'm being told that he was taken out the front door.
I'm. Come on, how many people out there know me? I am speechless. I'm utterly speechless. I am goosebumps. William,
Mhm.
you better say something here, William, because if you're not feeling it.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. So, um, we know that a little boy went missing near the water in extremely cold weather. Oh, hi Nathan, thanks for joining. Um, and one of the theories is that he was taken, but they found in the evening, Sybil, you cut out again. They found in the evening when he was missing, in this frigid, cold, 3-degree temperature January weather, um, that the bedroom window was open. So there's maybe
Wow.
one theory that he went out the window, but he was 6 years old and it was 3 degrees. It was less than 3 degrees because by 5:45, I did my research. It was 3 degrees that day. And the sun set that day at, I want to say, 4:48, and he was reported missing at 5:45. So it was dark, it was cold. To me, instantly, it's out of the question that a 6-year-old is going to sneak out the window like that. It's
Right.
not like he was 13 and going to smoke with his friends. I think we've all done that. But again, three degrees out is a real deterrent, if you will.
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
so, but the window was found open. So
Wow.
now, again, they don't know if he was taken or if he went out the window himself. And you say that the window was open, but you think that he went somehow ended up going out the front door.
Out the front door.
So
Yes.
so I don't know exactly what happened there, but gee, Sybil, you really hit on some really interesting points that I feel like we just
Right.
validated the shit out of. So you're
Yeah.
really nailing this. You're really, really nailing this. And again, Will, I would like to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think? Um,
Yeah.
um,
Also,
I'm fascinated and I want to hear more. So please continue.
okay. So I asked him if he was taken by a family member, and he said no. And he said a friend of the family. And,
Interesting.
and then he said the words. Then I got up for a little bit and stuff, but then I heard like uncle, uncle. And then he was showing me that he would play toys on the floor with him, and specifically showing me like a spinny, colorful toy made of wood. So I don't know if he's just
Hmm.
letting us know he was close with his uncle, played with his uncle.
Hmm.
Nothing to do with the uncle didn't take him. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
And then again, I went back to I am very, very freezing, and then I saw him with no jacket.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Um,
again, folks, if you just tuned in, I just want to kind of recap, if I may, Sybil. Is that
yes.
all right?
Yep.
So again, earlier this week, I told Sybil that we had a mystery, and that's pretty much all I told her. That my friend and family member Will that he had a mystery, and that's all I said to her. And then we talked for only a few minutes tonight before this live stream, and Sybil asked if it was about a little boy, and I said yes. She said a little boy went missing, and I said yes. That's the only two questions that I answered about this. So now we're live tonight, and Sybil is telling us the things that she picked up. And I just think that she's said so many things that we were able to validate. Let's be truthful, a lot of things that we're not able to validate, which just means we just don't know. But so many things that we
Mhm.
can validate. Again, a little boy at the age of like 5 or 6 years old who disappeared near water, freezing cold temperatures, with the
Yeah.
bedroom window open. Again, with the only information you having was that we have a mystery.
Right.
And I appreciate all the other information that you're giving us, because I think it's really giving me some leads or directions to go with this research and see what I can,
Yeah,
what else I can
definitely.
find out. I have to do a deep dive into it. Again, and we're really just scratching the surface. Will and I have been brother and sister-in-law for 31 years. So I've certainly known of this story on a surface level because it is a family history. But I never knew the details that I got from Will tonight. We had a phone call before this. And so I did want to just do a recap and thank you so much. And Sybil, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You see-
You're frozen.
How about now?
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So go right ahead. Let's hear more. Again, thank you very much. Go ahead.
Okay. So he he mentioned that the cops were not very helpful, but he knows that the family never gave up on him. And he showed me a home with like wood walls, no paint on it. So is that where he lived? I'm wondering if he's showing me his home because he said he made it home. So I think that's just in spirit. He made it home.
Hmm. I don't. I know a little bit about where they lived when this happened, and I don't think it
Okay.
had wood walls.
All right. It was like it was like a strange like colored wall, but they were wood. So it was, like the modern houses where they're all painted now.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It was kind of, it was like apartments, but
Hmm.
not like three deckers, more like the projects, so to speak. I think, anybody out there knows what the projects are, and I don't mean that in any derogatory term. Subsidized housing, or maybe during that time period, more likely subsidized housing for veterans and, men and their families, men who had served in the military, so I think, I don't know what the complex or the project looked like, but when I
Okay.
think of projects, I tend to think of more like kind of sterile walls and stuff. But that doesn't mean that he didn't live someplace like that, or that it's not significant.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
So, yeah, sometimes, like I said, they show little bits and pieces to let their loved ones know that this is them channeling through or whatever, little random things that only probably the family members would know. So, so I asked why he was taken, and he says he doesn't know, and it was a freak accident. So whatever that means. Let's see.
Hmm.
And I'm curious if
You
go
just
ahead.
said curious twice, and the exact thought that went through my head was from Alice in Wonderland. Curiouser and curiouser, and then you said curious, curious twice. Um, Anyways, go ahead.
I'm glitching that's going on has something to do with something. Right?
Nope, you're
Uh,
glitching.
yeah.
Son of a glitch.
Now I'm curious if you got on my camera. I'm curious if you guys have any questions for me that you're curious about. If I shut this off for
Okay, so Sybil's going to try to log back in. We do apologize, and that's always the problem with the modern day technology. You absolutely love it, and you depend on it, and you get all psyched up to do something like this, and that happens. So so we do hope that she's. Let's see, add to the stage. There we go. Sybil, are you okay there? We're not seeing you.
I'm here, but I don't know why I'm not on the screen. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, absolutely, we can hear you. I can hear you. Can everybody else hear her? Go ahead. We're listening.
Strange.
We're listening.
Okay. Huh.
That's all
Weird.
right. We're all ears.
I guess I gotta go. All right. Well, sometimes when things like this happen, it tells me like um the little boy in days.
Yeah, we're losing even the audio. And I appreciate Michelle piped in and said that she could hear you, but we're losing the audio now.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. What a bummer. Um, what a bummer. And Kristen, I know you're watching, and Kristen, you remember we had some technical difficulties during our interview. That was a real bummer because that was a great interview. And we definitely have to do it again. Without the technical difficulties. Right? All right, Sybil, how about that?
Hold on.
Okay. All right. There
Okay.
you go. There
Sounds
you
good.
go. Yeah,
All right. I am on my phone now. Is that any better?
it's perfect. It's perfect.
Okay.
Go right in. Yep, pick up right where you left off. Go ahead.
Okay. So sorry about that, everyone. Thanks
No
for
problem.
bearing with us. So I am curious if you or Will have any questions specifically that you want to know the answer to. I can
Hmm.
pull through from the other side, or if you want me to see if I can just keep going with what I'm getting. Oh, and I also picked up on does the mother of this boy, has she also passed, because he says he's with her?
Oh yeah, she would be probably quite old by now.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
he
She has.
he did mention that he was with her.
Okay, well that's good. That's good. Okay, so I have a few questions about wondering if some things that maybe you're able to pick up on or not. So
Okay.
again, bear with us, guys, because this is new for Sybil and myself, and I think so far so good for a first time. Um, so I'm wondering if you were able to pick up on anything about the family life at that time. Like, were you able to? Were there other children in the home? What was any kind of situations like that?
I'm getting the word poverty. Was it a very
That's a very interesting word that you chose because in my research today on East Boston during that time period, that is the word that was front and center was poverty. It was did they live in poverty? I don't know because, like I said, the quote unquote projects have served many purposes over the years, not just um not just like subsidized family housing for I don't know people of low income. Again, there's no judgments on anybody, no nothing like that. But they were if they were living in veterans housing is subsidized.
yeah,
Okay, so
I'm hearing that they like needed to share clothes. I think like even when we grew up, you know,
mhm.
that we would share clothes. Like I would wear my brother's clothes, and you know what I mean? I
I
think
had yeah,
a
I
lot of
do.
kids, and we would just kind of like share things.
Mhm,
So
mhm. Yep.
I'm seeing that type of family life. Let's see what else. Hmm.
So did you want me to tell you any information about
Sure.
that?
I there was one other thing that I'll mention, was something dumped over a boat, a small boat, something tied and wrapped up.
Now, that I don't have the answer to,
Okay.
but but I will give you some information. So when he was found, let's see, let's
Hmm.
find that part of my notes.
Let me see if.
He was found at the dock
Okay.
belonging to Boston Fuel and Transportation. He was
Ah,
found by their dock in the harbor. Now, I wonder if you have any sense of how the distance between when he disappeared and when he found was. I have that information, and
hmm.
I dropped my pen. That's all right. I got another one. I'm good. Um, but I wonder if you're able to pick up on that difference, like I said, of when he disappeared to when he was found. But I also think that there potentially could be a boating connection because he was found in the harbor.
Right. Yeah, I'm wondering if some of his other belongings maybe were dumped overboard, if it wasn't him specifically.
Hmm.
In a muddy area, because I did see he showed me his muddy hands.
Well, again, I think the area being on the harbor, uh, Boston Harbor, in this was East Boston, in that area, even now to this day, there's just very marshes. There are marshy wetlands in that area,
Yeah.
so that is an absolute. it's not an impossibility here. It's a probability. It's probably a high probability of this. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Let me see. I'm just looking on the other. I'm looking on the computer screen and it's fuzzy over there. So, but you can see me clear.
I can see you fine. So I'll tell a little story about the family, if I may. There was this
Sure.
it's just an interesting story. So and I didn't tell you his name. It's not Tim, and I wondered if you picked up on any other names.
I picked up on
By
Nick
the way,
something.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
No, not that I know of. So okay, so all right. So this child, his parents were Anne and Henry, and they Anne and Henry had 3 children, and this child was one of them. And they ended up getting divorced. And Anne was on her own as a single mother for a while with 3 young children. Again, this boy being one of them. And Anne got tuberculosis. And she had to go into, so again, you're talking about poverty. You're talking about a single mother during the 1950s with 3 young children, and now she gets tuberculosis. Does anybody remember the chronic disease hospital in Mattapan? Does anybody know that place? I sure do, because there's another building on that campus that was part of that. I went to rehab there, the STAIR programs, where I got sober. But the only reason why I'm bringing that up about myself is because what an incredible building these were. These were old, and in the 90s, these big, huge, creaky windows and linoleum floors, and I don't know, you just kind of knew that sadness and death had passed through these places. So anyway, so Anne got tuberculosis, so she had 3 young children. Now, this happened to this child when he was 6 and under her care. So he was the youngest of the 3. How young was he when she got tuberculosis and had to go into the hospital? And these 3 children went into foster care. Now, I don't know if they went into foster care together. I don't know if they got separated, but my God, was he very young. And the other 2 children, I don't know how old they were. So now Anne is in the hospital, and back then I think that some of the treatments for tuberculosis may have, by today's standards, be barbaric. And I think, you know what, I think 25 years from now we're going to say that chemotherapy is barbaric too. We'll see about that. But that's just, my opinion, and this is my channel, so I am going to say my opinion. But anyways, one of the treatments for tuberculosis was to remove the diseased part of the lung, and then to stitch up the lung, and then to ensure that you don't take a deep breath and break those stitches, they would put sandbags on your chest.
Oh God.
That's just got to be a hard, and that's what you got to do to survive. And you've got 3 children in foster care, 3 young children in foster care, right? So there was a woman in the bed next to Anne, Mrs. Payne. I can't remember what her first name is off the top of my head, but it was a Mrs. Payne. And Robert, or Bob Payne, used to come visit his wife in the chronic disease hospital, because she had tuberculosis. And Mrs. Payne passed away. And after that happened, Bob Payne continued to go back to visit Anne at the hospital, and eventually they fell in love and they got married. And I guess kind of the rest is history. It's an interesting love story. I think you find love when you're not looking for it. And sometimes we find love when we're in the throes of grief. I mean, imagine these 2 people, both in a really extreme situations. Anyways, Anne recovered, and I think she had some health issues throughout her life, but she recovered, and she had 1, 2, 3, 4. She had 5 more children. She had Will, Mike, maybe he's 4. She had 4 more children. She had 4 more children after that, so I would say that she did recut her. Her and Mr. Payne did get married,
Mhm.
and they actually, that's Will's father. Okay, Bob Payne, Robert
Okay.
Payne, that's Will's father. Um, oh, look what Bill said. How did we miss that? Bill said his family. Well, Sybil, this comment that Will made was at 7:43 p.m. That was probably about the time that he said the word poverty. So the family was in the process of being evicted for non-payment of rent from the projects. So I think again, poverty is one of the words of the hour here. Okay, do you see Will's comment?
I'm
But and
trying.
here, let me show it. There, I'm sure. Just look on the screen.
It's too small on my
Okay,
my
so
phone.
it's so the comment literally word for word. My family was in the process of being evicted for non-payment of rent, and that comment was about 7 minutes ago when you
Yeah.
said poverty. So yeah, so it was kind of a you know. Uh, and the other thing that I found in my research about East Boston at that time is they were losing industry. East Boston had industry, textiles and factories and stuff like that. And when Logan Airport came in, the industries dried up. Well, the industry in textiles and that kind of thing dried up in New England. I know I'm from an old textile mill town and blah blah and all that shit, factory town, and they're all closed now. So I guess the same thing kind of happened there. But Logan Airport became the big thing there, and jobs were lost. So I mean, I know that everything is relative and money had different value back then, but I looked up what the rent was
Yeah.
for a family in the projects in 1956, and it was between 18 and $20 a month. So
Wow.
again, I know that it's all relative. I wonder if anybody knows how to figure that out in today's inflation rate. What would that
Yeah.
be? Um, and you have to consider they were being evicted for non-payment of rent, and they had
Well, yeah. How
three,
was she supposed to work?
three, and Will. They had 4 children. They had 4 children,
Yeah. How
and
was
then
she
it, and then
supposed
it,
to work? And
yeah.
like
So
they didn't have daycare back then, and you know.
no, and I'm sure that Anne was a stay-at-home mother. That's what she
Yeah.
did back then, you know. So, but I'd like to say a couple other things about the night that this child disappeared. And not only was it very very cold out and it was very dark,
Yeah.
I think it was unlikely that he snuck out and was out playing. It was also I did found out this in my research as well. It was a Tuesday night. It was a school night, so most likely in the dark at 3 degrees, you weren't out playing with your pals or your chums
No.
because it was just too damn cold. So it was a Tuesday night. He was discovered missing at 5:45, probably 6 years old. The family probably had dinner. Maybe he was discovered missing because it was bath time on a school night. You know what I mean? There's kind of a,
Yeah.
yeah, I think a progression here. Oh, Sybil, we just lost you. We just lost you. Oh, come back. Okay, it looks like she lost her mic. So anyway, so we were talking about some really interesting synchronicities. It just seems like Sybil really picks up on a lot of things. And when she said she had picked up on poverty, we discovered that Will at that time had talked about that they were probably being evicted from some type of possibly subsidized housing at the time. Um, so let's see if we can get Sybil back here. If not, I'll kind of give a recap. Let's see. All right, Sybil. Well, I'll wait for you. I'm going to go ahead and give a recap. Well, like I said earlier this week, I told Sybil that I had a mystery and our friend Will had a mystery. Um, and that's all I told her. And then we didn't talk about it for a couple days. Oh, and by the way, when she wrote down, she meant to write down, look at Jen and Will's mystery. She wrote down, look at Jen and Mike's mystery, and then crossed it out and wrote Will. But then afterwards, she asked me who Mike was. Um, Sybil did not know my husband's name. She only knew him as my husband. So let's see. All right. We're getting Sybil back. Sybil, come back.
Hello.
There you are. Okay. I was just
Somebody
giving a
tried calling me and I
recap.
think it cut everything off.
Oh, a phone call at the most inopportune moment.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. All right. Well, we're glad to have you back. And I'm looking at the clock, and I do see that we've been going for about 55 minutes now.
Yeah.
So I think we'll kind of lean towards wrapping it up. I was just giving a little bit of a recap. Again, just totally amazed that all I had said to you was a mystery, and you just really tuned into some really specific things. A lot of things that we can't validate or don't know about and hope to validate, but a lot of things that I feel that were really specific that you hit the nail on the head. So before I do wrap things up, why don't you give us some what are your final thoughts on this? And I know that you and I are going to talk more about this, and we're going to be
Yeah.
seeing Will tomorrow night. So we'll be talking about him a little bit and talking with him about this a little bit too. But I'm excited to see where this goes, and I look forward to maybe solving a mystery.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but again, why don't you give us a recap on your thoughts and kind of take us out on this.
Yeah, I definitely it's definitely like very strange that there's no way that he went out of the house by himself. That's what I feel is strange. I'm curious, was there any suspects?
Um, that I don't really know about. I know that nobody was ever
Yeah.
charged, convicted. Nobody ever went to trial. I do know that much. So I think this is going to take a little bit more of research
Yeah.
because this is before a time period where I'm not gonna spend 3 hours doing a deep dive on starting with Google,
Yeah.
which is where we start. Everything starts with Google, and then you drill it down from there.
Yeah.
But these records aren't online. These records aren't going to be online. The things that we're going
Right.
to be looking for. So, William, I think that a field trip might be in order to a police station to get a copy of some records, or a request. I do have to say that William is really, really good at getting records. I've got pouches of his family records here. But
Even if we
we
took
did
a
what?
trip to the area at some
Well,
point.
that would be very interesting. That would be, there you go. Road trip, maybe. Yeah, there you go, William. Keep that in mind. All right, Sybil, that sounds really good. So,
Yeah.
all right, so I'm definitely going to wrap things up. Again, Sybil, thank you so much. I think that you really
Thank you for
validated a lot of
having me.
really, really cool stuff. And I hope our viewers all enjoyed everything. And so thank you for joining us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and if you're watching at a later time, thank you for that as well. As always, we thank you for tuning in, and watch us tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. We're doing our first ever live stream from a paranormal investigation. I'm going to be there. Sybil's going to be there. William's going to be there. Kelly is going to be there. This is definitely going to be very exciting. So, and Sandy, thank you so much for watching. Everybody who watched, thank you so much. So on that note, I'm going to sign out. I got to get a good night's sleep and get hydrated for the investigation tomorrow night. This is Jennifer from Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies, and Sybil from Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies checking out. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Night.